welcome to episode 2 of My 2 Tips, which is a knitting podcast. I'm Elise, the hostess with the mostest. So we're here for episode 2. Thank you to absolutely everybody who watched. I think I got like 100 plus views, which is pretty cool. Wasn't expecting that. And I got a few subscribers, also wasn't expecting that, but thank you so much to each and every one of you. I also made a group on Ravelry, which is My 2 Tips podcast. There's not a whole lot going in there yet, but let's get it going, because I love Ravelry. I'm on there all the time, and I don't know, I think it's just a great way to communicate with people, toss ideas around, whatever. We'll see what happens over there. I also got a shout out this week thanks to Shannon on the Soxcetera podcast. So thank you, Shannon. You're a doll. Super, super sweet. That was super cool. I was watching, I was like, whoa, that's me. That's my name. She said my name. Super cool. So that was sweet, obviously. Kristin of Yarngasm Yarns also kind of mentioned me on her podcast, which is Yarngasm podcast, which, great name. I think that's one of the best names out there for a podcast. I love it. But anyway, Kristin answered a question from her Q&A, Ask Me Anything thread, which was my question. I had asked her about sock blockers and the sagging kind of socks when they're wet and drying. I had borrowed a set from a friend of mine, and I have a pair of beaded socks. I should probably get them out, but I'm not going to. I'll show them another day. But anyway, within the leg, the open part on the Bryson sock blockers, they were kind of sagging when I was just holding them kind of horizontally, and I was like, I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be. Kristin's always looks super nice and taut and tight on the sock blockers, so I asked away and she answered on her podcast, so thanks, Kristin. So let's get on to some stuff. Today is March 15th of 2016, which kind of blows my mind. It's a Tuesday, so Tuesday should normally be my recording day, because I have the day off. So because I have the day off means I can record my podcast and edit it and upload it and get chit-chatting with all you guys online. Well, that's great. That's that. I have tea on the table today, which I'm kind of nervous about because I keep bumping the table with my knee. Let's hope I don't spill it. I'm drinking out of my moose mug. Well, one of my moose mugs. My parents got this one for me, a few years ago. I think it was the Christmas of the year I moved out here. So I moved out here in May of 2013. So it was probably like Christmas of 2013, and I brought it back with me. I think. I could be wrong. Could have been 2012 Christmas. Whatever, I love it, and I haven't broken it. So that's an achievement. In it, I am drinking some tea from Merchees, which, luckily enough for me, is a Vancouver brand. Not that I'm all about, like, ooh, Vancouver, but Canadian, local. I like supporting the locals, and it's also cheaper. But anyway, it's Merchees. Stores in this little tin. The one I'm drinking today is Cream of Earl Grey, I think. Something like that. It's an Earl Grey one. Maybe even Lady Earl Grey. I put milk and sugar in my tea because I'm that kind of girl. And it's a black, like, Earl Grey's kind of black, so I don't, I tend to forget about my tea when I'm steeping it, so it gets a little too, like, tanniny. I think that's what it is, the tannins in it. A little too acidic, so a little bit of sugar, a little bit of milk, drink away. I feel more perky, so that's good. I tried. This is take 2 of episode 2, just so FYI. But yeah, I feel good. I'm waking up. It's grayer outside than it seems to be in here, so that's kind of nice. You guys are getting tricked by the light. It's probably because across the little alleyway, the building is completely white stucco, so there's a lot of reflection off there, but I'll take it. Yeah, let's see. So at the moment I have on my Grace cardigan, which is a pattern by Jane Richmond, and I love it. It's beautiful. I think it's technically the second sweater I knit, because the first sweater I knit was a test knit for her that was also a sweater, but I can't show it yet because it's still not published, so I really want to show it, Jane. Please, please let me show it. But anyway, so this is the Jane cardigan. No, it's not. It's Grace. Grace cardigan by Jane Richmond. And I knit it, I don't know, a while ago. I love this thing. There's nice little lace meshy panels, nice little button band. On this side, I messed up the lace a little bit in there. I didn't notice until I was blocking it, which somehow, even though I messed it up, I must have still been paying attention to, like, I can't even remember what it is, but a lot of people who have knit this pattern have had issues with the lace. Probably just forgetting a yarn over at the end of a row or at the end of like the section before you do the raglan increases or something like that. Somehow I managed to mess it up but not mess up the stitch count. How does that happen? Sorry, I don't know. But there's also a lace pattern on the back. It's just a little cardigan. I think it looks really good with this dress, actually. So, I don't know if you guys even... Oh yeah, you can see. So there's a lace panel on the back, too. It's really cute, but I'm going to have to take it off. Because, oops, I knit it out of Swan's Island Pure Blends Fingering. I looked it up earlier, that's why I know. And what is it? It is a 85% merino with 15% alpaca. It's warm, and it's, I mean, like, the sleeves are pretty close fitting. There's also, because I love them, I'm obsessed with them, you guys, coconut buttons, coconut shell buttons. Love them. I got them from Button & Button, which is a store, like, down in Vancouver. I love them. I have more in my stash that are bigger that are probably going to go on another sweater because I like them. So there's that. But I think what I'm going to wear today on the podcast, because you gotta wear your knits, is, oopsie, sorry, my hair's in everything. I think I shed almost as much as the cat, which is fine. But this is my triangle cowl, which is a pattern by Silvia Bo Bilvia, who's super popular. She's got that Waiting for Rain shawl pattern out right now. Gorgeous pattern. I wanted it at some point, but this is just like a simple siege stitch pattern, which I'm obsessed with. Color is showing up kind of okay. Oh, that might be better. It's the Solis colorway from Malabrigo, in the Rios base yarn, whatever, that I got on sale, so that was bonus. But yeah, I love this thing. It's great. I use some natural wooden buttons, and it always has, see, more moose stuff, you guys. I knew it was gonna happen. Wow, that's so tricky. A moose brooch that I have. Who did I get that from? It's from Ugly Bunny. They sell on Etsy. They're out in Kelowna, BC. Love their stuff. I also have some other stuff from them. Highly recommend it if you're into their stuff. or check them out anyway, see if you are. But yeah. Oh yeah, that looks good. But yeah, so this is my little cowl. We'll wear that today. So, since I'm such a newbie, and I forgot last week to show you my Yarny Goodness acquisitions, I'm going to do that first, because I want to show you some stuff. Last week I'd gotten, yeah, you can see it back there, my first bag from Miss Brown Bags, Mrs. Brown's Bags, who is Jody, which is this bag. I couldn't resist. It's got Maceijewskas on it, which totally reminds me of like my Polish heritage. I'm sure my mom's going, oh, my baby Shirubos. Not that she talks like a Polish woman, but she does if she speaks Polish. But I love this bag. It fits a lot in here. I've got some stuff in here. So I've got this one skein that also came last week. So this is my yarn mail from last week. This skein, I say skein. Do you guys care? Is there like a preference? Oh, shoot, where's the card? Maybe I'll insert a picture, because the card that came with the yarn is adorable. It was so pretty. So I need to leave that open. So this yarn is from Haven Yarns, who's an Etsy seller. She's out in Alberta because, again, Canadian. You guys are getting inundated with all those Canadian podcasters and all of our yarn. How could I resist? How could I resist this, you guys? It is, what is it? I believe it's a DK weight, light DK. Superwash Merino, 255 yards for 115 grams, and it's the Lavender Sky colorway. I love this. So pretty. There's a good section there. Jesus. There you go. So like the whole thing is kind of like this lavendery blue. It's looking really blue today. But I think that's because the light here is so gray. With beautiful specks of like blues, purples, that kind of orangey, golden, burnt, rusty color. I think, okay, so yes, I'm supposed to be on a yarn diet. I'm not supposed to be buying stuff. But, am I totally self-validating this purchase? Yes, I am. She's an indie dyer, Jess of Haven Yarns. If you see something from an indie dyer, you should probably get it. And I'm not trying to be a pusher, but the thing is, indie dyeing and the way that they produce these beautiful skeins of yarn, they can't necessarily reproduce it the exact same every time. So if you see something in their shop, get it. Because the next time you go, and yeah, sure, she might have this Lavender Sky colorway in there on her next update. Great. I'd probably get it again because I love it, but it might not match. So if I was going to, decide that, oh, wait, actually, this would be really pretty in like a shawl or something like this. I don't think I have enough, so I need another skein. That other skein might not match up, which is fine, but this is going to be a hat. I think it's going to be a Rikke hat. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, I love that hat. I've wanted to make it for a while, partially because it's just an easy hat. Just basic, there's nothing really going on, and it looks great. So that will be this guy. That was all I got in the mail last week, which is awesome. I love that stuff, but a little while ago, I got, shoot, I forgot the pattern. That's okay. So, I have to start it. I haven't started it yet, but I am going to be knitting a sweater sample for a little yarn store in my hometown in Ontario, in Lindsay, which is Aberdeen's Wool. I think that's just the name. Yeah, Aberdeen's Wool Company, maybe. Cute little store. The store lives. My parents used to live about 3 blocks away from the store, which was very handy, but also very dangerous. But yeah. So this came in the mail for that sweater. I have 5 skeins of this, and it is Shell Ridge yarns, which is actually from Woodville, Ontario, which is like just outside of Lindsay, which is awesome. Like, talk about local to me, hometown-wise. But there's this. I believe it's DK. Yeah, it's on the label. It's right there. It's a beautiful brownie. Sorry, my throat's a little scratchy. It's like a brownie taupe. It's a beautiful neutral color. And I'm going to be knitting a sweater. I can't remember the name right now. The Way Back? Maybe it's The Way Back. I'll insert a picture because I think I figured out how to do that, so wherever it ends up, blah, with the information on the bottom. I gotta get doing that. So anyway, that yarn came in the mail a little while ago, but I was obsessed with socks. I just hadn't gotten into it yet, so I think later today that's happening. Sorry. Ooh, I got some yarn mail yesterday. So again, yarn diet is not happening. It's not happening. So I'm obsessed, in a good way, with Lara of the Fawn Knits and the Fawn and the Fox, depending on how you're referring to her. So her shop on Etsy is the Fawn and the Fox, and for the longest time she's been making project bags, which, other than like drawstring bags from Knit City that say like Knit City on them, she's my first project bag, and now I have like a lot of them. But anyway, she put out a pre-order for her Knitty Kitty kit. So you get a project bag, which I have right here, and a skein of yarn. So project bag, and in this one she used a thicker interfacing, which, Lara, I love this. I could stuff it with yarn and just use it as a pillow, because alone it's cushy enough, but with yarn inside too, perfect pillow. Like, you could sell these kind of as like pillow form things, I guess. I don't know, whatever you call those. So on the outside, you have a million kitties with little, I'd say like hot pink balls of yarn. There's her label. And on the inside, you get all these balls of yarn running around. I love this. And I think it's really funny because we have a cat, which you haven't seen because he doesn't give me the time of day half the time. He's sleeping right now in the bedroom. But my cat doesn't go after my yarn. He might come up and sniff it every once in a while, but he doesn't try to play with it. He doesn't try to bat it around the room. He doesn't try to eat it, which is great. But I don't have a kitty that likes yarn. That's sad. And the skein of yarn I got, so pretty. I haven't even taken the label off of it. Well, I just did. So this is her yarn. Hold on. Sorry. This is her yarn label. It's her label for everything, really. Except the yarns won't come on it. So, super, super cute. And I got the Badger base because that's what these kits came with this first time around that she did them. And it's her BFL fingering weight. So I had to get it, you guys. I had to get this kit. So I'm so happy about this. This is the stay at home. Let's stay home. Yeah, let's stay home colorway, which it's really pretty, Laura. Like really pretty. I don't know what it's gonna be. It's probably gonna be a really gorgeous pair of socks. But I'm just gonna show you guys this part here because you can see a little bit more of kind of like the speckles that have come into the yarn. So it's like this pink and I'm gonna call it golden kind of base colors. And then she's put in some like pinks and a little bit of like reds, and I don't think that's green. I think that's darker, kind of maybe the browny gold. It's so pretty. It totally reminds me of like pajama parties when I was a little girl with all my friends in like cute little pajamas and giggling all night long. And probably on sugar highs from all the crazy candy we were eating. But this is so nice. I can't wait to use it. So that was some yarn mail that I got yesterday. It came in the mail. So that was awesome. I'm totally horrible at rewinding or whatever you call this. Rehanking. But super pretty. Put that back in there. And then when Laura first, so I didn't get this recent, but I have to show it because if you guys haven't seen her yarns, go check her shop out when she has updates on Fridays. And I just closed the bag. But anyway, I got some other yarns from Laura because I'm obsessed, like I've said. So this, I think these are both the Raven base. Yeah, they are. So an 80/20 superwash merino colorway. So this is her terrarium colorway. Guys, she's great. Go get some. It's awesome. The colors are beautiful. This is the second time I'm showing you green yarn. Last week I had a pair of socks in like super bright green. Green really isn't my color, but I have a place for it, I guess. Have a place for it because so pretty. And then this is her Valentine's colorway. I can't remember if she said she's going to carry it all the time, but I don't know. This is her Bleeding Heart colorway. There's a really nice red. I almost want to call it like candy apple red. It's so red. It's so nice. Then there's some black kind of speckles, and then you can already see it. And then it goes into like this pinky with a little bit of peach. I'm gonna maybe that's just my life. But anyway, beautiful. And I think she had a picture of it on her Instagram where she was knitting up some socks, and it kind of did like a mock striping effect, I guess. I hope mine do that. But I know Laura uses much less stitches on her socks than I do, so we'll see how this knits up, and I'm super excited. So that's my self-indulgent portion of the podcast. What else can I show you guys today? Oh, yes. So let's go to another finished object. I don't think I haven't shown it. So there's this. This came off the needles. This is that shawl I was talking about last week that was a slog. It's finished. So excited about this, you guys. So this is the Dolce Speciale Natale pattern by, hold on, I wrote show notes out. By Emma Facio. It was a free pattern, I think, just before Christmas. and now it's about €5. So if you snatched it up, good for you. It's a great pattern. But this thing's pretty big, actually. Yeah, so for this one, I used lace instead of... No, I didn't. Ugh, my brain's still not working. So I used fingering weight yarn, sock yarn. I used the Hedgehog Fibers sock base in the crystal colorway, which I'm still... Oh, maybe I'll wear this for the rest of the podcast. No, not like that. Anyway, I used the Hedgehog Fibers sock base, which is a 90-10 base, which I'm still on the fence. I don't know if I like it. As I was knitting this, which, I mean, super simple pattern, you guys. It's garter, and then every once in a while you do a little bit of eyelet work, and then more garter, and a little bit more eyelet work. Not complicated. Super easy. So maybe I'm not a simple pattern girl anymore. I don't know. But it was just a pain, and the yarn kept splitting. I don't even remember what size I used, because now that it's done, it's done. It can be gifted and loved by the recipient, who has no harsh feelings about how it was made. But yeah, like, it's super pretty. The pattern, I think, really shines with this kind of yarn that I guess it's technically, let's call it tonal. It's tonal yarn, because it's kind of like that whitey cream color with like this little bit of like light gray that's in there, and there's no pooling. There's no crazy like zigzag pooling, or like I've seen some that get like almost like a big circle of like a color in the skein of yarn that just kind of somehow clumps up together. None of that in this thing, which is great. So I think, oh dear, choking myself. Well, I think she'll like it. It's really light. I did block it. I blocked it Sunday night, because that's when I finished it. So it is like super... That's probably hurting all of your eyes, but kind of shows how springy it is. It's springy. It really blocked and drapes, I think, really nicely. So I think she can just, if she really wants to, she can just do kind of one of these, and, oh yeah, looks kind of good. And wear it, because it's super, super soft now. When I took it off the needles on Sunday, I was kind of like, uh-oh. Feels a little scratchy and, like, crunchy and stiff. Didn't have any bounce to it whatsoever. So maybe that's why everybody loves Hedgehog Fibers, is once they wash their finished product, it's that much better. It really is. But like the knitting process with it, I'm not sold. So we'll see about that. So there's that finished project. I also blocked another project because I still have my friend's blocking wires here. So this is my Gideon shawl, which I knit. Sorry, it's something up my nose, and it's not my finger. This is the Gideon shawl. It is huge after I blocked it. Like right now, it's just above my socks. But yeah, it's huge. Huge. Oops, wrong way. Huge. I'm going to contradict myself from last week, but I can totally wear this thing like a granny shawl, you guys. Because it's big enough, and it sits. It sits on my shoulders, like I don't even have to do anything to it. So, and I know I'm going off screen, but I'm going to turn around. Like, you can't even see the bottom. That's how long it is. See? Me? It's so big after blocking. I love it. I almost want to see what it would look like if I kind of put like a belt around, maybe. Kind of make like a mock sweater wrap thing with it. But I love this thing. I actually won this whole kit for this project. So the yarn is Sweet George. It's not, I'm sorry, I'm messing up my words. It's Sweet Fiber Yarns. And that's by Melissa. I believe that's Melissa Thompson, who dyes the Sweet Fiber Yarns, who's out in BC, in the Vancouver area. The gray white, it's almost got a little bit of a light icy blue tint to it too, is her merino twist worsted, which is just 100% merino. This one, which is her sketchbook colorway, is gorgeous, and it's in her merino, Cashmerino worsted base. This stuff was a dream to work with. Both bases are really nice, but that cashmere that's in there, that's the money. That is, I could just sit here all day and pet it and wear it. Happy spot. But anyway, I won this kit off of Instagram. Melissa of Sweet Fiber and Melissa Schaschwary, I hope I said that right, she's a designer. I totally can't remember her. Oh, Dandelion Girl, I think is what she goes by that on Instagram, and I think that's what her little, pattern brand name, House of Patterns is. We're doing an Instagram giveaway for when this Gideon pattern came out, and I won it. So I got 4 skeins of yarn in the pattern and knitted up in a jiffy. It doesn't take very long. The one thing I will say is that I switched it up a little bit. This is just going off of memory. I switched it up just a little bit. So around these lace panels, these, I think 3 or 4 rows are supposed to be done in garter. And I did stockinette. I just like the look a lot better, and I think now after blocking it too, it just sits better in my opinion. I don't think the garter would have looked quite as polished in the finished project, but there's that one. And this thing, I can't believe how big it blocked out, and you can see, I don't know how well you can see it, probably pretty well. So when I blocked it, I put the wire in this, in the same part of the stitch around all the border. And when it, when it came off the wires, it kind of made this cool little design feature. It kind of looks like I did some really fancy bind off, which is super cool. I didn't, it's just the way I blocked it on the wires, so that's kind of cool. I'm happy with that. I'm also wearing a pair of socks today, which, it's warm enough in the house, but I figured I'm going to wear some socks. So these are a pair of socks I knit out of this beautiful BFL yarn. And it's by Kaleidoscope Dyeworks yarn. What colorway is this? I think it's the Golden Quartz colorway, which I don't think she's dyed up in a while, but Allie, you totally should. I love this stuff. I could see this in a beautiful, what's that pattern? The Hanna Fatigue, or Fatigue. I think it's Fatigue. Her featherweight cardigan would look super nice in this colorway. It's just such a golden yellow with these, I'll take it off my foot, with these lovely rosy speckles and blue speckles. Oh, you guys. Now that washes it out a little bit, but even if that was the true color, gorgeous. So I love this stuff. And it's BFL, and it's either BFL in nylon or BFL in bamboo. 80-10 kind of base, I think. I love this stuff. This is my kind of, I think this is done in kind of like my sock recipe that I've kind of come up with in the last little bit. So 1x1 rib, because I thought that looked kind of nice in this, and then just stocking it. And I think I do, what is it? I kind of play around with the leg length because it just depends on what I'm feeling that day. I think these ones might have a total of 80 rows for the leg. Maybe. I don't know. That includes the cuff. My cuff is definitely like a 20 row cuff, I think. And then whatever, scoop through the leg, fish lips kiss heel, which I think is a great heel. It fits my foot really well, except I leave 2 more stitches. I think that's all I leave. 2 more stitches in between the side kind of things. I don't want to give anything away. It is a pay pattern, but it's $1. It's a great pattern that you should probably have in your library if you don't already. I just find that the smaller amount of stitches doesn't sit as well on my heel, so I left a little bit more. Makes a little bit wider, kind of like a cup for the heel. It's great. And my foot length after I finish the heel is always 66 rows. That's how, well, for me, my gauge, that reaches the base of my pinky toe. Then I do a little bit of a, I think this is the rounded toe, or what they call the rounded toe, in that Rose City Rollers pattern by, I'll insert the name, sorry. It fits my toes great. I have short little toes. They just nestle right in there perfectly. So that's a pair of socks I'm also wearing today, which I love them. What else do I have to talk about today? I haven't worked on much else other than that shawl I just showed you, the white one, white and gray. I am still working on the pair of socks that have around the cuff, kind of. They're coming along nicely, so that's good. I kind of want to talk about a project that I haven't worked on in a while, partially because the yarn that I've needed to finish it has come in the mail a little while ago. So, take it out of the bag here. I'm not trying to hide it, but you guys will see it in a moment. So this is my Halligarth shawl, and it's by Gudrun Johnston. I can never say it right. But I'm so close to being done. It's been sitting on the needles in a bag forever. So it's so pretty, and it's gonna be big. So this, I'll show you a little closer. I'm using 2 yarns together. I'll tell you all about that stuff in a moment, but you can see it, it's marl, so there's like a fuchsia and then like a dark purple. That might be better there. And it's this beautiful kind of tree-like pattern that just builds and builds and builds every repeat that you do. So I started this, months ago. I don't even know when I started it, but a while ago, and it was going great. And then I ran out of yarn, as one does. I definitely lost this game of Yarn Chicken. So originally, or actually, I am using 2 strands of lace weight cashmere yarn. Oh, come on, computer. Which is from Paper Birch Knits, which they've changed their name to Luxadorna. Luxadorna Knits. Oops, sorry, I'm moving that so much. Still the same stuff, you guys. It's the exact same from what I can tell. So I'm using 1 strand of this color, which is Merlot. I like it over here better. Which is Merlot. And that's kind of like that fuchsia, hot pinky kind of color. And then this is the one that I just got in the mail because I've needed it forever. This one is Secret, which I love this color. So now I'm going to, well, when I get around to it, I'm going to cake these 2 up together, and it makes like a beautiful marled yarn, which is what I'm using in there. I think I'm technically according to pattern, because originally I read it wrong. I need to do 1 more repeat of the trees, which is fine. It's about 20 rows, I think. Whip that off quick. And then I get to do a nice border all the way around, like the 2 long sides of the triangle. So that'll be interesting. I've never done one of those before, so I really want to do it. But originally what I had done when I ran out of yarn, sorry, there's going to be some noise. Where did I put that? Yeah, right here. I went to the store that I originally bought stuff from in hopes that she had another skein of this. Well, actually, of both. But she had this one, so I bought it, obviously. And she had the dark purple in this skein. Looks kind of similar from back here, except it's clearly bigger. This is a DK weight, I think is what she says. Yeah. So this one's a DK, which much thicker, and it's got a hella twist on it, you guys. I actually tried to deply it with a friend a few months ago, maybe. It was after Christmas, so I guess technically. Didn't happen. Hey, I thought I'd bring, whoop, he's not very happy with me. I thought I'd bring baby over so you guys can see him, because I talked about him last time a little bit too, but yeah, I'll sign off with him today so you guys can see him. He's shedding like a freaking crazy guy right now. Here, baby. Oh, he's your good boy. Alright, so I'm going to sign off for today. I really don't have much more knitting stuff to talk about today. It's kind of been a little disjointed, so I'm sorry about that, but just the way the morning went. So, podcast love for today. I've mentioned Shannon of Soxcetera. Hi, Shannon. Kristin of Yarngasm. Hi, Kristin. Hi, baby. Who else have I mentioned? I think that was it. I'm going to mention some more people, so, well, I guess I technically already mentioned Lara, who is the Fawn Knits, and she's got a great podcast. I like her. I think she might have been the first one I started watching, partially because I've been addicted to her bags for a while now, so I started with hers, and then that kind of started everything. There's some Canadian ones I'm going to mention just because I think most of the ones I watch are Canadian. So there's Pin Feathers and Pearls with Candace. She's great. She gives cool recommendations at the end of her her episodes too. Like, she's mentioned Hamilton. She's mentioned a few video games, which is kind of fun. I'm not a gamer, but last week I ended up playing, not a gamer, but I played a game. So my boyfriend has a PlayStation 4, and he let me play, I'm going to use play loosely, the new Star Wars Battlefront game that came out kind of around when the movie came out back in December. It's a lot of fun. I suck, but it's a lot of fun. I was flying some kind of spaceship and going around like in tripping like those big walking AT-ATs, I think they are. Totally fun. Knocked a few of them down. But I'm really bad. Who else do I watch? Jenny of Lone Larch. Hi Jenny, you're in BC this week, so hope you're enjoying the rain. Who else is there? There's Sarah, who's also out in Alberta, and she posts the Make Things Club podcast. And I'm going to call that more of a crafting podcast because she does tend to branch into more than just the knitting, which is cool. There's still lots of yarny goodness. She's actually got a wall behind her. Yeah, behind her with like all of her cakes on like a pegboard, which is really cool. I think that's a fun space. I think I'd probably like that kind of room. There's the Grocery Girls, of course, Jody and Tracy, who I think everybody loves and wishes they were related to in some capacity. What's wrong? Who else is there? Grocery Girls. There's one more I wanted to mention. I don't know. Kitty's distracting me here on my lap. He's tapping my leg with his tail. Sorry. Non-Canadian, but equally as awesome. There's Devin, who hosts the Francophonie Knits podcast, which is pretty cool. I like how she throws in some French every now and then. I'm pretty sure she teaches some French classes at a university down in wherever she is. She's cool. I like it. She just came out with the Amboise shawl, which is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And it's all lace, so I'm actually kind of considering it. I don't know if I have enough in my stash to do it, but something with me and lace, I love lace. I love knitting it. I think it goes that much quicker. So there's Devin. And then over in Paris, there's one that I've started watching with Charlotte. So it's the Charlotte and Gus podcast with her little kitty who... Is he also a little orange tabby? I think so. You want to say hi to Gus? Hi, Gus. Is that a hi? Whatever. I don't know if Charlotte will watch this, but maybe you can say hi to Gus. Me? You good boy. So those are a lot of podcasts that I watch. I love them dearly. They keep me entertained on my days off or when work's a little slow. Check them out, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm going to sign off here. Happy knitting. Hopefully you're having a great week so far and the rest of your week is enjoyable. See you next time. Bye.